Fun fact before I start the video. I sprayed the room here with Lysol and I sprayed like too much. So I actually had to get a fan and try to blow some out the window because I was gonna die. So if I have an asthma attack, it still really smells like, it was lemon scented. It really smells like lemon still. So if I have an asthma attack and die, then you know exactly why. Also, I'm just gonna have to hold this ball up to my mouth the whole time because this is the only microphone I have, so just keep that in mind. Without further ado though, today I'm gonna talk about video games. As much as I hate talking about things that everybody already talked about a lot, I'm still gonna talk about it anyways because there's only one way you can get views on this platform. Nah, we're not doing this. I'm just doing this talk. Lately, it's been a big topic of discussion because mass shootings have happened. Very sad, tragic. However, the wrong response has occurred. The big DJT, our president, he was like, he called video games greasy and grisly.
We must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace.
He was basically saying video games need to stop, or else the mass shootings will not stop. I don't think anybody's point of view can really be video games, if they stop, mass shootings will stop. Like, nobody can really actually think that. My goal today is actually to give a hot take on this issue. I think I'm using that word correctly. I don't really like that word, but I'm going to use it. I believe that's supposed to mean a controversial opinion. So my opinion is, well, first I want to talk about Walmart also. Apparently, I don't know if this is all Walmarts or just certain Walmarts. I don't know if it's like a nationwide thing, but some Walmarts apparently, they've been told, like the managers of the store or whatever got letters from like corporate, the big Walmart guys up in the tippity. Basically, they were told to remove like violent video game advertisements and stuff from the store, any displays that show violent video games, stuff like that, which just doesn't really make sense to me in any regards, because if you're trying to keep them from buying the violent video, here's the bottom line: you're not going to do anything unless you remove the violent video games themselves from being sold, in which case, like at my Walmart, I can walk 2 feet and I'm at a GameStop. So congratulations, Walmart. All you're doing is losing business for yourself. I'm gonna buy the game anyways. Second of all, I just found this funny. Is in the letter I read that is apparently to one of the Walmart stores. It said all violent video games, specifically or especially Xbox and PlayStation displays. Nintendo, you can't really go wrong. I mean, it's just Mario. So, I mean, yeah. But then, obviously, the whole thing is like, what? Walmart sells guns, though. And I've actually never seen a Walmart that has sold guns. So, that might be a thing that's not legal in my state. Or they just don't do that at the Walmarts that I go to. I've never seen guns being sold in Walmart, ever. So, that's not really a thing that but I'm gonna present the opinion, because I think this is stupid. I'm not going to buy a game because I'm not going to go into Walmart and be like, first advertisement I see, I'm going to buy that game. No, I walk into Walmart and I'm like, I want this game, I'm going to buy it. Whether you take down if you take down the advertisement or whatever, it's not going to change me. I'm still going to buy the game. That's the bottom line. So I don't really understand that anyways. They're really just, it's pointless, honestly. And unless they remove the games themselves, which they're not going to do, because then they're going to be losing money, and they know that, then what's the point? Which is also why they haven't stopped selling guns, because they want to make money. Great. But now that that's out of the way, everybody already knows that. Everybody's been talking about that. I don't care. I'm going to talk about, is video games violence? That's the big question. Is video games violence? Well, first of all, I've seen everybody, literally everybody on the internet, all people, every single person I've seen on the internet is like, people saying video games are violent. Me building my dirt house in Minecraft. Which is great. Minecraft's not violent because it's literally Legos, Roblox, poop blocks in the video game. So obviously nobody thinks Minecraft is violent, but there are violent video games. And that's what I'm here to say today. Do I think video games cause mass shootings? No. But I would say it's not, it's maybe I wouldn't say it's completely, totally correct to say, like, you're just selectively using the argument, like, me playing Mario on my Nintendo Switch, me playing Mario Kart, so violent, not violent, but there are violent games. But see, even then, there are violent games, right? Okay, definitely. For example, like Grand Theft Auto is probably one of the, like, most morally wrong games that exists for sale. However, you're never going to hear anybody use Grand Theft Auto as an example. Why? Because it's not popular anymore. You know what is popular? Fortnite. Every 30-year-old that doesn't know what they're talking about is gonna say, now see, games cause violence, and if we take a look at a popular game called Fortnite, we'll see that this is true. And the thing about that is that Fortnite is, you really don't even have to look that far into the game to realize this. Fortnite is basically the least violent shooter game that exists ever in the history of shooter games. There's no blood. There is no pain, crying of agony when you die. Some a drone comes down and goes and sucks you up when you die. You don't even lay on the body dead. Lay on the ground, dead body. You don't even die. It doesn't even show you dying. It just shows you collapsing. When you get knocked out or knocked over or whatever, when you're playing not solo, you just sit on the floor on your knees and legs and you just crawl there. There is no violence in Fortnite whatsoever, except there's guns. So, of course, because there's guns, they're going to say the argument that it's violent, it's causing mass shootings. I don't actually know all the ages of the mass shootings people, the shooters lately, because I haven't really cared enough to look at them up because I don't really care to know who did something that terrible. Most of these people are older. Some of them are younger, like teenagers. When you think of Fortnite, you think of the audience, the stereotypical audience of Fortnite is 5-year-olds and 9-year-olds that go scream when the Wi-Fi goes out. This just turned into, I don't even know what this turned into. I don't know why I'm trying to defend Fortnite. I'm trying to make a point here. I would say the more concerning thing about video games is not causing people to become more violent, but become more desensitized. When you play a game where you're constantly trying to shoot and kill people, it can sometimes be desensitizing or whatever, when in the real world a mass shooting occurs. Still, it's to such a small extent. Are people still sad when people die in a mass shooting? Of course. Is there a chance that if we sort of have some sort of higher censorship, is that going to affect in any way the mass shooting numbers? Either the answer is in such a small amount that it's barely noticeable or doesn't matter, or completely no. Most people have the understanding that a video game is a video game, and it's not to be taken as something that you should do in real life or will do in real life. Just because you play GTA and you kill people and you run over people and you steal cars doesn't mean, I don't think anybody really plays the game and then says, oh yeah, I should do that in real life. Yes, I remember there was that news story where a kid played GTA and then he went out and stole a car. And that is a perfect example of my next point. There is always going to be exceptions to that. There will be people who play GTA and then think, what if I went and I actually robbed a car in real life? But that's the same as saying, well, if we take away all guns, not to get political, but I don't think that's the right solution. If we have all guns, there's always going to be people, the people that commit the mass shootings, that abuse the guns and do the wrong things with them. It's the same thing with video games. You can make that same argument, but taking away video games altogether, video games are a staple of society, and obviously there's no way that you're going to get rid of video games. That doesn't even make sense. But so basically, what is the solution to stopping mass shootings? Well, there really isn't one that we know of, otherwise we probably would have done it. Is the answer something to do with video games, movies, any sort of media like that? I'm not even going to say probably not. No. The answer is no. Let's see. Do I have anything to add? Back when there was a shooting at that church, that guy wrote a manifesto, of course. Everybody knows that. Said, oh yeah, how did I get the idea to commit a mass shooting? Fortnite, of course. The thing is, people took that for rizzle dizzle. You remember when Mark Zuckerberg...
Mark, give me the Zuck.
When Mark Zuckerberg had to do the thing in court because of the whatever privacy scandal, whatever, and he's talking to these people, the people in the court, and they're asking the stupidest questions. I can't remember what the clip was, but there was one guy. It was the CEO of Google, and some guy asked him something about, is Google tracking my location on my iPhone? The stupidest question ever.
If you Google the word idiot under images, a picture of Donald Trump comes up. I just did that. How would that happen?
They were asking questions that don't even make sense. So is it true that you track personal data? Yeah, when you sign up for a Facebook, you give them your birthday and your name and stuff. You're putting photos on the site. So, of course, to some extent, that question doesn't even make sense. You get what I'm saying? So, basically what I'm saying is that a lot of people saying this stuff and pushing this stuff politically, although I don't think it has any traction and isn't going to go anywhere because the vast majority of people understand that what they're saying is stupid and doesn't even make sense. It's just to say, which is why I think this whole topic is stupid. When people make such a big deal out of this, it's like, what do you think is going to happen? You think video games are going to get outlawed? No, this is not going to go anywhere just because the president said that video games are greasy and grisly and grimy. I don't really like this discussion, which is why I'm making a video about it, because I hate myself. No, well, I'm trying to make a video to provide kind of a counterpoint, but not really. But all in all, I just find the discussion useless because everybody's like talking about this like it's such a big deal. Like, oh no, we have to say something. We have to defend our right to have and own and play video games, right? But you really don't. Nothing is gonna stop you from playing video games. Nothing is gonna ever ban video games. If that happens, if that ever becomes a world where that happens, I mean, I you know how this can't. Like, it just can't. I will always be able to flip up my laptop and click on Minecraft and play it offline. I mean, the video games can't go away. Of course, what people are saying, all of it is true. The video games don't cause violence. Studies have been studied, and the results say that video games have no negative effect on your conscience or violence or anything like that. I guess it just feels like people are beating a dead horse here. Everybody understands except for those ignorant people that don't, that are saying this and that brought this up and are the reason that this exists again, because this is not the first time that this has happened. All throughout history, people have been saying video games are bad, and all throughout history, people have been saying no, they're not, and they're like, oh yeah, you're right. It's just another one of those things. Basically, don't get your pantyhose in a twisty knot over this. And I'm going to keep playing games because to me they're fun, and I haven't committed mass shooting, and I don't think I will because of video games. And I think that's the point that we're going to take away from this. And the other point is that, yes, some video games are violent. Fortnite is not violent, although not on the topic of violence, but yes, video games can be bad for other reasons. Fortnite is a massive example of that. These parents let their kids play Fortnite 24/7, which is also known as bad parenting, and they become addicted to Fortnite, and the parents are like, they go on Dr. Phil and they're like, Dr. Phil, my son, he won't stop playing Fortnite, I don't know what to do. He's not eating, he's not going to school, he's not doing his homework. I've lost control over my kid. The simple answer is, well, A, you should have never let it get to that point. You have several options here. Unplug his PC or his Xbox or whatever he's playing on. Destroy it. I'm just saying, if it really gets to this point, I mean, that's just you being a bad parent. Limit their playing of video games. Because yes, anything in any amount can be bad. If you're addicted to anything, it could be bad. Even if Fortnite isn't violent, if you play it so much, you are gonna get addicted to it, and that's not good because addiction is just bad in general to anything pretty much. And along with that, there are kids that get way too mad at Fortnite, and that's also a bad thing. And I guess you could say that's violence. So that's, I guess, my counter argument is that video games can cause violence in a way, but not to the level that would, that's just a short term, like, oh, you're really mad, you punch your wall or something. That's one thing. That's different than deciding that because you played Fortnite, not out of rage, but out of just this mentality being ingrained in your mind, apparently, that because you shoot people on Fortnite, because it's a battle royale with 100 players where you're trying to kill everybody else, oh, well, that makes me decide that I'm going to commit a mass shooting. That doesn't happen. So yes, video games can be bad. Wow, shocker, right? Just like anything else, pretty much, if not done properly. Is removing them gonna have anything to do with mass shootings? No. Maybe there needs to be better parenting as far as young people playing video games goes? Sure. I guess that's not like a so hot take, but just a side of the argument that people don't really make because they're just like jumping on this bandwagon of, oh, I need to talk about video games because people are saying they're bad and they're not bad. And that's not good. What if video games get banned? I can't have that. I don't want video games banned. I want video games. And that's really not something that you need to worry about. Video games, good when you use them right. Good when you enjoy them and have fun. Playing with friends, building connections, having fun. Bad if you start breaking stuff because you get mad because the Wi-Fi disconnected in Fortnite. Yes, I've done that before. But no, it's not good. But no, it's probably not going to make you commit any sort of act of mass violence, because that's definitely not good. And that's not by any means what any video game developer is trying to insinuate through their games in any regards. Yeah, hopefully I said enough keywords like video games and violence and Donald Trump that this video gets views, because that's really all I want. Obviously, I consider this an absolute success because I didn't have an asthma attack. And thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Probably gonna be playing video games too. Okay, bye.